So there was a Smash Brothers Direct on April 8th, and a lot of information got shown. So it was about 39 minutes long.
Yep.
Release window revealed.
Yep.
3DS summer, Wii U winter 2014.
Yep.
We asked after we followed up with Nintendo and said, "Hey, winter 2014." They said, "Yes, winter 2014."
Right.
Well,
Let's talk about this.
Australian winter? That'd be this summer.
I don't know if what calendar they're following.
No, they're
but
following Japanese winter is the same as over here in the northern in our hemisphere, basically, which is, is the end of the year, but it can also mean January.
It could mostly mean January.
So
Because winter 2015 starts at the end of 2015.
So
Right.
to put in context, I have right now 3 stake bets running that Super Smash Brothers Wii U will come out in 2014, and that's with Mitch, Greg, and Marty. So I'm either going to have a steak buffet or I'm going to be in the hole at the end
You're
of the
in the
year.
hole.
So
I'm
you
sorry.
don't know that.
I'll say this. At this point, Nintendo believes it comes out in 2014. Calendar year 2014. We've seen Smash Brothers slip before.
We have. With Brawl specifically, that happened.
Yeah. And,
I don't know if that was the story with Melee. I don't think it was.
The big story on this one, though, is like it feels like they're already managing your expectations that the character roster will be the same for the Wii U version, right? So it might not balloon out of control like a previous game where like they want to just add one more thing, right?
Yeah.
So I am confident we're going to be playing both games in 2000.
So wait, didn't we do the math and figure that there's really only how many days of winter are there in 2014?
Well,
it's like 11, right?
A quick Google search. I think winter starts officially December 21st, but I think to them, winter is just early December. I don't know
No.
what calendar that falls on. That's what I want to believe. I want to believe, first of all, and the reason I believe this is because Wii U is not in a position where Smash can slip. And that's the thing. And I know to Nintendo, a game should be held until it's ready, right?
Yeah.
They are very quick to do that. We saw that with Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, where that game didn't even need a delay, but it got one. That's what at least we heard from the guys over at Retro,
Sure.
and then it was part of Nintendo strategy. But part of Nintendo strategy needs to be that game comes out this year.
See, I don't know about that because I mean, yes, the Wii U needs all the help it can get, but I also think that putting out a subpar or not ready version of one of their flagship titles dooms the franchise more than anything else. And especially after the last one where people were mad about balance issues and tripping and a whole bunch of other things.
Okay.
They have to get this one right. And
So I agree with that, and I'm with that. But, we saw the Smash Bros. Direct, and this was, of 39 minutes, probably, 15, 20 were the Wii U version. Oh, and by the way, after it ended, 200-plus screenshots also came out. There's a lot of media that they're sitting on or that they have. I just refuse to believe that this game is not, if not really coming along, also very far along.
Here's what you didn't see. You didn't see what makes the Wii U version unique, and that needs to be the message, right? Like, if you release both games at the same time, basically you're telling everybody who has a 3DS, oh, you don't need to buy a Wii U, right?
Yeah.
And so having the Wii U version in a different time period is actually smart. I think it's smart.
I think it's
awesome
smart
if
too.
it was
Yeah.
flipped, right? So everybody who's hungry for Smash Brothers would have to buy the Wii U.
Well, and you want to sell Wii U's at the end of the day also.
But there is something about the Wii U version that is unique and special and major because it's not characters. They said the rosters are the same, which means the Wii U version either is modular, like it can add on content over time where they're like, hey, this is the roster at launch, but guess what? The Wii U version will get new characters every month.
Or connecting them both will unlock a character or two.
But they have to have something that's unique to Wii U that you can't get on 3DS. Or the other thing is that the single-player experience is all new and unique and very different from 3DS.
Yes.
Which is what I think it is.
Yeah, but you save that announcement until you're closer to the Wii U's version's release. You're not going to
100%.
drop that at Direct in April.
Of course not.
Yeah.
No.
So
This is why, I mean, you need to let go of the notion that it's coming out this year.
I'm not letting
It's
go.
not. Has Nintendo ever launched one of their flagship games 3 days before Christmas?
Ever? No one in their right mind would, and no one in their right mind
would put out anything 3 days before
should.
Christmas.
But again, I don't think they're following. I want to believe that
people do all their
if you
holiday
say
shopping.
winter 2014, don't get me wrong. When we followed up with Nintendo, they're not going to say to us winter 2015 because then right there, even if they already know that, that's a big problem for a lot of people. Right? Yeah. Would they honestly come out and just tell us winter 2014 right now? No. But I do want to believe that there is hope for that game to come out in 2014, and I'm going to bet on that.
I think
it's
scheduled for 2014, and I think it all now depends on the other game. What is the November 22nd or whatever game, right?
Like, and E3 will reveal that.
One.
There will be two, maybe. Like last year, Super Mario 3D World and Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze didn't exist before E3.
It's
technically.
It's not Mario,
but
right? If they're talking about starting it now, it's not Mario.
That's right.
Super Mario 3D World came out, what, December 10th last year?
No, Super Mario 3D World came out in November. Initially, it was supposed to be a December game, and Donkey Kong was supposed to be November. Right. Then their dates flipped, and then Donkey Kong got pushed back to February.
So I think that...
And it was finished in November.
I think that they're sending Smash Brothers off the die, hypothetically, if it comes out 4 days before Christmas. I think sending any mother into a store 4 days before Christmas to buy a $250 console...
But why are you saying 4 days before Christmas?
Because he's going by the calendar.
I'm going by the calendar.
They're not that precise, dude. There's not like Nintendo scientists and go like, oh, the winter solstice.
What do you don't need a scientist for that. You buy a calendar from the dollar store. It tells you when winter starts.
Takes people with lab coats.
What are you talking about, scientists?
You have to
We're bending the laws of around magic in our minds now if we're saying winter starts when Nintendo says it starts. Winter starts when winter starts. Farmers came up with that thousands of years ago.
Yeah.
But the Australians disagree with you still,
Well, this is not Australia.
Right now they're skiing,
they're
by the
closest
way, just
to
so you
Japan.
know.
Yeah,
this is like when surfers
say,
it's summer somewhere. Like, that's like Point Break laws.
I don't think they're that precise.
Get out of here.
I think they're saying like, hey, let's not give anybody a month. Let's give us a little bit of room to breathe on when we release it. And, like... They can change anything anyway. They can come back and say, like, you know what? It's a November game.
Of course. But they haven't yet.
Mm-hmm.
Surprise and delight.
And I'm saying this because I want, like, more than anything, and just like you guys in the room, I want to play Smash Brothers on Wii U by the end of the year.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Of course I do. But I'm being cautiously pessimistic here because,
Pepstick.
Pessimism.
Are you not excited for 3DS Smash Brothers?
Am I excited for it? Of course I am.
But it's definitely the lesser of the two Smash Brothers for you, right?
But here's
I'll
let you go.
Actually, I don't know yet because I've never played Smash Brothers on a handheld.
That's what I'm worried about.
I'm in a different situation. I'm 33 years old. I don't have friends over all the time that play Smash Brothers with me.
Just finish with I don't have friends. Continue.
I don't have friends. I don't even trust you guys anymore. I hate you both.
We can play online.
We'll play at work, and we have a magical job where we get to do that stuff, and we'll get to play online.
You don't have to switch it
but
on.
I mean, I'm going to play a lot of single-player Smash Brothers, and I always do. And I'm going to play through the Subspace stuff they put on the Wii U, and I'm going to play that single-player mode they showed.
It's not Subspace anymore, but I got you.
Whatever it is. Yeah. The single-player mode that they showed the other day looks really cool. And I'm going to play all that stuff. Like, I like doing all that. I like unlocking characters. I'm excited to see how Smash Brothers translates to a small screen that I can bring on a plane. That's really fun for me.
So I will say this too: the 3DS one coming first is kind of a surprise. I do agree they needed to space them out. I think it was smart. I think maybe the length of time in between both might be a little too long. However, the 3DS version, that game is ostensibly like you're going to be your Smash experience, and it's also something you're not getting on iOS. iOS doesn't do Smash Brothers, so that's something that maybe their logic is this is going to sell more 3DSs, because right now, what are they at, 40 plus million 3DSs sold? They're still lagging behind DS. They're also releasing, we're going to get to it later, but Tomodachi Life got announced. That's another experience that you don't really see on iOS. They're trying to kind of build this individual profile for, I guess, that handheld, because that's where their bread and butter is coming from. It's not Wii U, but at the same time, they're also not helping Wii U by it coming later.
But you have to look at this with two minds. There's the gamer, which is all of us, and then there's the businessman. And the businessman knows that it makes sense to put the 3DS version out first, make money. If you look at year over year, like 3DS killed it last year. Yeah. I mean, there was great, awesome games hitting every 2 months. This year, not as many. There's some stuff here and there.
The amount of money you can make on a 3DS version of that game is right now greater than the Wii U money you can make, right? Yep. At the same time, they need high-profile titles to jumpstart the Wii U business.
Yeah,
and so it makes sense. Like the way they're spacing
it's right before Christmas. It's right before September, and all the sales start in November. And
the missing piece of the puzzle is what is the November game?
Yeah. That's a good point.
If this is a freaking amazing looking Zelda or something like that, that's great.
It's too soon for Zelda.
I don't buy it either. I don't think they can do it.
I fear it's too soon for that. Okay, let's move forward because we can talk about this for a while. So they revealed how multiplayer works. They have two modes for glory or for fun. That sounds really cool.
Yeah.
Also, I found it interesting that Smash Brothers, a game that isn't coming out till summer, they're already talking about the online modes. But Mario Kart 8, which is coming out May 30th, they haven't said a word. About.
Yeah.
I thought that was a little weird / interesting.
Yep.
So keep
or
going.
Worrisome.
Yeah. Well, transfer. We'll see. Again, I kind of lean on 3DS Mario Kart for the most part worked really well. So
I know, I'm
we'll
just
see.
always the Pepsi mist.
Oh no, that's fine. Pepsi.
Smash Brothers is so fast.
Yeah,
Right?
it is.
Like getting multiplayer right for a racer is easier than a fighting game.
And
100%.
also, they recommended the LAN adapter for your
Yeah.
Wii U.
It
which
wasn't
makes me
even Wii U
wonder-
branded. It was
Yeah.
Wii branded, the
And
old
it also
one, right?
makes me wonder
I thought they
if,
retired that thing.
Yeah.
if
No,
they're willing to sort of suggest that, then is Tim's prediction going to come true, where some sort of wired controller is going to be introduced, something that plugs into your USB? Because the kids who play at EVO or at Smash tournaments around the world, they don't want to play on a wireless
Right.
controller. They don't want
Yeah.
anything to do with that.
But it becomes part of the. If everybody is forced to do it, it will just be.
Well,
the
no, but
way
you have a
play
choice,
it,
right?
yeah.
Wired or wireless.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I think
If
there's potential
Nintendo
there.
has a chance to sell a peripheral,
And they've done it
they
in the
will.
past. That's right. Right?
if
Nintendo-
there's even
You think there'll be an arcade stick?
That-
We've never
well,
seen
no,
that.
I don't
no,
think that.
no, not that far.
I
Just
think
some
like
sort of controller
a
that plugs
throwback
in.
GameCube controller would be. I mean, there's money on the table if they don't pick that up. Like a wired throwback GameCube
I
controller.
don't think they take it that seriously.
I
don't think
agree.
I think they're going to say wireless. Sorry.
Sure, I agree. I just think there's a possibility.
right.
So transformations were removed. So characters like Samus, who would turn into Zero Suit Samus after a Final Smash, that's over. And
He
also
tried to punk us. He's like, "Oh, poor Zero Suit
He
Samus, she's
trolled
not
There's
in
a
the
couple
game."
of punks
he
in there.
trolled
Yeah.
multiple times
Yeah.
in that direct. It was a lot of fun to watch for
It's all,
people
like,
who are fans.
Fading to black and white. And
Oh, even
sad.
holding up his hands
Yeah.
like he's about to do the direct sign, and
Yeah.
like, nope, I am
Yeah.
the director of Smash
Yeah.
Brothers.
It was funny. It was
Yeah.
still a very dry presentation. Like they're quirky at least.
Yeah,
and
but
it's-
their sizzle reels in between all of it looked really good, man.
They showed
Stages,
a lot of stuff.
stages, items, assist trophies, Pokemon.
There was a lot of stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm loving the trophies. It
Oh,
just
they're
look
so
cool.
good.
Yeah.
I get so geeked out about that stuff. Like,
Yeah.
and there are people that just play Smash Brothers on the Final Destination, no items, and they just beat each other up. I like collecting all the Smash trophies. I like collecting everything in the game, unlocking everything I can. That's the Nintendo geek in me.
And it's like it seems like they really dig deep. They have the TV game,
TV game Color 15.
Yeah,
TV
TV
Oh no,
game
Color
Color
TV game 15.
15,
Sorry,
which
yeah,
is
yeah.
basically, if you don't know, it's like Pong, right?
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
two paddles and a ball, and like that comes up as an assist over the screen.
Yep.
That's so freaking awesome.
I know.
Like,
I love that it doubles. Smash Brothers doubles as this huge.
it's a museum.
Museum
Yeah.
for people like us that can go back and be like,
Yeah.
I remember that. I grew up with those games.
So all that stuff was great. The fire bar from Mario was
Yeah.
cool, right? Like,
Yeah.
and like I love that it kind of looks like it did in the old games. You know, it's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
these separate little fire wheels.
Sure. Really good attention to detail.
Yep.
For the most part.
Yeah, I
Some
did like that they started the
proximity
direct
mine.
sort of kicking off going, well, here are the release dates. Let's get that out of the way.
Yeah.
Here's
Well,
everything
and you
else.
couldn't end with that because people
No.
there would have been a riot in the streets.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Because everything after that was just like, hey, if you were even remotely on the fence about this game and this direct doesn't sell you, then don't even bother.
Yeah.
Like I walked out of that going, I was kind of, a little hopeful for the 3DS one, and then by the end I was like, this looks awesome. Wii U one looks awesome. Give me all of it. I want.
Did you
all
see?
Of it.
I mean, I'm about to ask you both what impressed you, but just a few more details that at least caught my eye. Like when Skull Kid came out and the whole stage flipped upside
That
down.
was cool.
I was like, holy
Yeah.
cow! And Dark Samus is in there, who
She looked
wasn't
great.
around the time that Other M came out. They were kind of pushing away the Metroid Prime series as non-canon or something. Someone gave an answer somewhere that people were interpreting as that. I could be misremembering
I
that.
hope not.
Elec Man showing up as an assist trophy from the
Yeah.
Mega Man series, and
Oh my God,
then
the
Mega Man Final Smash just brought a tear
Yeah, it
to
was
any
so good.
fan's eye.
It was so good.
It was such good fan service. Battle Network, Mega Man Legends,
Yeah.
X.
They were almost
the
like-
one from Star Force, which I don't even know what it is.
It was
just
almost like,
wow.
hey Capcom, this is how you do it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
exactly.
A lot of
It
We're
was
tweets.
taking care of your boy right now.
The character looks like he's really comfortable in
Yeah.
that universe
Yeah,
too. He's
totally.
just like hanging out and
Yeah, no,
yeah, and
sure.
the I love the graphics too on Samus's Final Smash. The beam
Yeah.
in the Wii U version looked really cool. Like
Yeah.
the lighting and everything looked awesome.
Yep. Looks
No.
really good. And lastly, just a few other things. So in the 200 screenshots, I saw Link was wearing the Franklin badge from Mother 3, and also whatchamacallit, Mr. Saturn was in there, which I think I saw a post somewhere. Someone said that was shown at E3. But anyway,
Yeah.
rest assured, Earthbound's in there, which and
Somehow.
someone saw Samurai Goro in the during the direct. Like they just kind of he's kind of shown in the
assist?
background somewhere.
yeah,
as an
apparently
assist,
there was a
probably.
ton of little Easter eggs in there.
Oh yeah.
The Ridley Shadow thing was cool. cool too.
Oh yeah,
the
you
boss
saw only
characters.
the shadow of Ridley, right?
Yeah.
Ridley, of course, the giant flying.
People still want to play as
dragon
Ridley,
from
but
Metroid.
it looks like Ridley will be in it, but as a boss character, unless this is another Sakurai misdirection thing, because he will do it, right?
Maybe. I just feel like the size of the character is so
Too big.
Yeah,
like, that's always been the argument against it. Yeah.
It could be Teen Ridley.
And especially Teen Ridley is great.
Versus Toon Link. I like it.
Smoking behind the garage when he's not fighting.
Oh my god.
You never let me use the car, Dad, and he smashes in.
Okay. And lastly,
I'm taking this baby.
And lastly, two things. The 3DS only multiplayer mode, custom movesets were sort of mentioned as well. It seems like we have a lot of confidence in this game after this direct.
Yeah,
right.
I loved the problem solving. Like speed and control is everything in that game, and to show that the 3DS version, the characters move at 60.
Yeah,
basically saying like, hey, we got to sacrifice some stuff. Here, all this assist stuff is going to run at 30, but the characters are at 60, which means it will feel right. It will feel precise and fast. And I think that was just.
It will also feel cramped because it's so much smaller control setup. So I'm just wondering how that's going to play.
And you know what's funny? I could tell that Sakurai wanted to get that point across, and like when putting together the direct, they probably said, that's too technical, don't put that in, because he apologizes. He's like, sorry, this may be a little technical, but it's like, no, I think that's great.
No, I feel like he's smart. He's got his finger on the pulse. Like people ask about this stuff now. They're like, what's the frames per second? It's like, all right, here it is.
And all the trolling, God, but it was so fun. Regardless, I'm glad that he is willing to have fun with it, and Nintendo is willing to let him have fun with it with fans.
Yep.
Right? Because Nintendo's kind of viewed as a conservative company, but when you have a direct like that was that much fun, I think that's a good sign.
I wonder if this is going to be one of the biggest 3DS games ever made, like even size-wise. I feel like there's so much content packed into the Smash Brothers games that this could be something that even if you're not playing online, like if I'm flying across the country to New York or something like that, there's just so much stuff to do. Like there's so many things to unlock. There's other little like mini games and stuff like that, challenges. I can't wait to see how much of that stuff they bring back, even when it's just like beating up the punching bag. Like stuff like that is so cool.
It looks really packed.
Yeah,
and that's where. I'm really hoping that the 3DS game is a package and it's closed off, and the Wii U game is the one where you will get like a character pack. Dude, if they came and they said, "Hey, pay $50 subscription for 2000, what year is it now? 2015, and every month I get a new character," I'm paying right now.
Really?
Right? Like, sure.
Yeah.
Damn, that'd be so awesome to get, like, every month you go back to the game, you learn a new character, and you get your friends over again. It's like you can turn that into an event, right?
And it would be cool if each character came with a stage and some other, like, side stuff, like more trophies and stuff like that. Like, put together a whole little package.